Pretty solid stuff. We got a new bike rack. I got it laid out for you guys. Let me show you what came in the box. So this bike rack was sent to me by OUTFITR. Tire press, 2 e-bike rack with ramp. This is the ramp. These are the 2 racks, the hitch system and the thing that holds the 2 racks. You got your hardware, comes with a lock, and these right here are to hold your tires once the arms come down on the bike. All right. So let me give you guys some context. I used to run a 1-up bike rack, and I had that for quite some time. The reason I got rid of it is because we went on a camping trip, and the road that we went on wasn't the smoothest, and long story short, the rack got loose after that entire trip. I came home, I unloaded my bike, and I felt my rack kind of loose, and I think it got loose because it was a 1 1/4 hitch mount instead of a 2-inch hitch mount. So I sold it. I didn't have a rack for quite some time, and then this company reached out to me and said if I wanted to try out their rack. This thing is super burly, super heavy duty. Each rack can hold up to 100 pounds, which is more than enough for the bikes I have. Even the e-bike I recently just got, it only weighs 50 pounds or 54 pounds. And the cool thing I like about it is how heavy duty it is. Like, I'm pretty sure I can take it on some rough trails on my truck and nothing's gonna come loose, which is why I agreed, you know, to test it out and showcase it to you guys. They also sent me some brake lights to mount on the rack. It's pretty cool. Comes with the wiring, so you just hook it up to your car, mount these to your rack, and they work alongside your brakes. So first impressions are good. Everything seems well built. Let's get this thing put together and thrown on the truck. I really like that it comes with a lock. The cool thing about the lock is that you don't need the key to lock it back. You just stick it in and it clicks and it locks into place. The only time you need the key is to obviously unlock it. That is really cool in my opinion. So you have 2 holes right here, 1 hole right there. This bolt is going to be inserted in this hole. That allows the rack to pivot from this point and that point. So there you go, have the bolt in. You can lock it right there. And you leave it right there, lock the pin. Bang. And I don't want to over tighten this bolt because I still want to allow some play room to move the rack up and down. The thing I love about this rack is that it has this anti-wobble bolt. So when you lower it and you have all the bikes loaded and everything, you just screw this so that it secures the rack, and obviously it's going to put pressure on this while the bolt is in place. And these guys are just held on with 2 bolts each. They slide in through the back right here. Just a quick tip, you want to install this one first and then this one, just because this bolt won't slide into the hole if this one is installed first. So just keep that in mind. This one, the farthest, goes first, and then that one. Last pieces of the puzzle. You know what's crazy? All the videos that I've seen on these racks, I didn't know that these mounts were metal. I always thought they were plastic based off of what I saw on video. And pretty much this whole rack is made out of metal. The only things that are plastic are these red mounts where these get screwed into and the actual knobs that you push in to lower and raise the rack. This guy and these guys. Everything else is made out of metal. And to be fair, it doesn't even feel like cheap plastic. It does feel pretty heavy duty. And to get this tightened, the last tool you're gonna need is a 6mm Allen key and your crescent wrench. There you have it, fully assembled, ready to go. This is the ramp to load up heavier bikes, and when you're storing it, pretty much just leave it right here on this hitch mount. Has a hole right there, and you'd use this guy to secure it. In my case, I'm probably not going to use this guy because my bikes aren't that heavy. I can lift them, but it's nice to have it. If I'm being honest with you guys, I don't like how far it sticks out. The only benefit of it being that far out is the fact that I can close and open my tailgate without it hitting, so that's kind of nice. I can't open my tailgate when I have a bike installed right here. I can when I have a bike installed right here. The tailgate hits the pedals of the bike just slightly when I have a bike installed here. I can open it up about halfway, which is nice. I guess it's better than nothing, but I can't set it down all the way. I also tightened the bolt underneath to add that tension, and it is pretty solid. I am really impressed with how sturdy these bikes are, and I think the biggest reason it's so sturdy is because of the 3 points of contact. You have contact on the tire, right here behind the tire, and then another point of contact in the rear. My old 1UP bike rack only had contact on the tires, and there was a lot more play with the bike. I mean, it wasn't gonna go anywhere. It was very secure and solid, but this shakes a lot less. Like, it's a lot more stiff, I would say. And that's the case for both bikes, you know? We got clearance on both with my seats all the way up. I can spin the pedals freely on both bikes. Both bikes are loaded. Let's go take it for a spin. First test run with this rack. I was looking in the rearview mirror, just keeping an eye on it, and the best word I could describe this rack is burly. Like, heavy duty. This thing's pretty tank-like. It's heavy and it's bulky, but I think it's gonna work out for what I needed. Whenever I go camping or I'm doing some like bumpier roads, this thing's gonna have no problem holding my bike and just staying solid. In regards to the brake lights, they are pretty straightforward. They have connections in the back right there, and then a connection right there. The wiring also does have a left side and a right side, so depending on what light you're gonna put on the right, you want to connect it with the R, and then the left would go with the L, and that just allows your turn signals to work properly. And then this last piece connects to the trailer mount right there. So the cons that I have with this bike rack are, one, the fact that it can't be slanted a little bit, and two is that it sticks out pretty far from my my truck. But those are things I can live with. Some of the pros that I really like is how sturdy and beefy it is. It has 3 points of contact for your bike, so it's giving you that peace of mind that it's not gonna shake or rattle. The color is pretty sweet. I love the red and black. It matches my front fork on the hardtail. And the other thing I really like is the fact that I can lower my tailgate all the way down when there's no bikes on the rack, and then only when there's one bike in the front. I can live with that, and that's something I can work with. I also like the scissor style rack. I don't like any other style. I feel like this is the easiest and most convenient for me. I used other racks in the past where you have to strap the tire and then you have to strap the frame, and it just takes too much time. I'm not a big fan. So the scissor type is a plus for me. But that is gonna wrap up this unboxing, this build, this install. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Peace.